Welcome back to the Metro on 1019 WDET. I'm Kerry Jr. II. Sounds from across the globe are coming to Detroit this weekend. The Concert of Colors Music Festival is happening right now through Sunday, and it's in its 34th year. It'll feature artists from the continent of Africa to the Caribbean to Latin America, and some of those sounds are homegrown from right here in Detroit. Two musicians who are collaborating for a truly global jazz performance are with me in the studio right now. I've got Victor Ganem and Sean Blackman in the studio. They're performing tonight at the Detroit Historical Museum alongside David McMurray. The show's at 5:30 p.m., and the performance, like all other shows at Concert of Colors, is free. Victor Ganem, Sean Blackman, thanks for joining me on the Metro this morning.
Oh, thanks for having us. Glad to be here.
Yeah, y'all brought in some great energy today. Are you excited to perform? Are you excited to see the crowd and be here for the concert?
Well, it's always a thrill, when you're playing for people that really have an appreciation for music, and this is a musical town, and I figure we're representing the world, part of the world, which is it's a big world in itself. So
it is.
Looking forward. Oh yeah.
Sean, I do want to start with you a bit. So you're bringing Armenian music to this performance, and you're of Armenian heritage. How did you come to learn and play Armenian music, being from Detroit?
Well, I'd like to preface that I don't do anything traditional. So,
say it one more time.
I said I'd like to preface that I don't do anything traditional or authentic. I was born and raised in Oak Park, and I did grow up going to the Armenian church and hearing the Armenian bands, and I was dancing to Armenian music and odd time signatures and 5s, 7s, 11s, and didn't even know it. But that culture just inspired my compositions. It just got in there. It's just in there. So it's some of the modes I play, the way I approach the neck with the left hand, and even the right. So it's just colors. Hey.
When did you first kind of start hearing it and say, okay, this is something I want to work with?
Well, it's interesting because when I first started playing guitar, I was 12 and I played rock and roll.
Okay.
I was really deep, a little rock dog. But then as I started writing music is when it came out, so probably mid to late teens. But it's so interesting, in a lot of those rock bands, they were playing those same dark harmonic minor, it's called, scales that have that Eastern note. Like, in blues, they say there's that blue note. There's that like Eastern note. Yeah. Victor, what do they call it at that scale?
We call them quarter tones, microtones.
Microtones.
It's like going in between the white
notes.
key and black key on a piano, and just going right between it.
So his instrument has those quarter tones at
fretless.
His fingertips.
But one of the instruments is fretless, the oud. You have to be careful where you press on your fingers. And the kanun is a 78-stringed instrument. And, you've got these mandals that you switch to get the pitches.
It's so cool.
I actually do want to talk about the oud real quick, Victor. Can you just describe, because did you start, was that your first instrument?
No, actually, I started playing guitar. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and, we saw Elvis Presley on the Ed Sullivan Show. Well, you're too young to know that one. And then my father was a music lover. I'm Arabic and heritage, Palestinian, and, I grew up listening to the music of the Middle East and the music of this country, and I've been fortunate to have collaborated on, I got into the world music, and I've, worked with people from different backgrounds, and just my style, I like to say, I don't think it's typical when I play Arabic.
Yeah.
It's influenced by the jazz I used to listen to, and when I play, and vice versa.
And how did you make the transition to the oud? Because you played guitar too.
Well, my father saw that I could play. I just picked it up right away. When you're young, you learn a lot easier and a lot faster. Then he says, "Okay, since you can play the guitar, I'm going to bring you an oud."
That's funny.
He brought me one, and then I just basically taught myself.
I mean, it's just it's like a pear-shaped guitar, right? With like more strings.
Basically, yeah, it's oval shaped, and it's flat. It's hollow.
Okay.
I'll be using an electric one for this concert, but it's you feel it's part of your body because you're basically hugging it, and it's pressed against your your torso. And
I want you to talk a little bit about how improvisation is part of the oud tradition, and specifically, can you describe what maqams are?
Maqam basically are the scales, the musical scales, and the basic, and then you can they're intertwined. You can switch from one to the other, and you come back, and some of them mix and match. You might want to say, but improvisation, it's something. All my life, I never planned what I want to do or what I want to play. It's just basically what you're feeling right at that moment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the scales you kind of described, it's not the same as kind of the scales that we would play in traditional Western music. Am I right? Right? It's
no. You've got your major, you've got your minors, and then like we talked about the quarter tones that come in. It's variations of it, but yeah, some of them are happy, some are sad.
Oh, I'm going to listen a little bit to some oud. We have a clip here of you playing with the National Arab Orchestra. The song is called Taqasim Oud. Now you, Victor, earlier you were talking about the quarter tones, the half tones, and in that improvisation as you're playing the oud, you can kind of hear the scales, the maqam that you were just describing as well. Can you just talk about, you said it's part of the feeling too, but you're also working in synchronization with the instrumentalists around you. How does that all play into what we were just hearing?
Well, the taqsim, you're basically on by yourself. I wouldn't say I'm, feeding off anybody. It's a solo, so I'm just basically going off on my own. And that maqam was called bayat. You notice the second note of it is where the quarter tone is.
I see. Yeah. And is that how you define the different maqams? Is where the quarter tone is placed in the scale or the voicing of the?
Well, I mean, I don't think the name had anything to do with it, but it just happened that way. I wasn't there when they named them.
Okay, got you. Understood. You're listening to the Metro on 101.9 WDET. I'm Kerry Jr. II. My guests right now are Victor Ganem and Sean Blackman, two musicians who are collaborating for a truly global jazz performance tonight at the Detroit Historical Museum alongside David McMurray. The show is part of the Concert of Colors Music Festival, which WDET is a proud partner with. Like I said, the performance is tonight. It's at 5:30, and like all other shows, this concert is free. So, Sean, I want to talk a little bit about you and your musical background. Earlier, you talked about how you use the Armenian music, but you're not traditional, right? You do like a fusion, a little bit of that, right? Yeah. You grew up playing rock and roll, is that right?
That's the root.
And that's the mixture between those genres is where you're approaching.
Yeah. So it's an interesting path that led me to diving into the world's music and just became completely insatiable. Like I still am. Like I'm still hungry for anything I haven't heard yet. And it's an exciting journey. So yeah, the root rock from there went to flamenco. And flamenco is what guided me to the international section of the music store. And from there is when I just started going there every day because they had a listening station. And oh my God, I spent all my time there, all my money there, and just started buying albums from all over the world. And flamenco, that transition from rock to flamenco, there's so many similarities there. Again, those minor, harmonic minor scales and those and also the angst. Like flamenco, it's not happy music. It's a furrowed brow kind of music. It's their blues. Yeah. It's the oppressed, the gypsies, the south of Spain. And so that's what pulled me, because the guitar players were ripping and the singers were screaming, turning red in the face, veins popping in the neck, this kind of thing. And so exciting. And then Brazil really took over. When I heard Brazilian guitar, I was just like, it wasn't about ripping solos anymore. It was about laying beautiful melodies over key changes and like like the Antonio Carlos Jobim's songbook is, I mean, it's almost like piano chords on the guitar, like these beautiful voicings. Like, I've even seen guitar players reach their thumb around from behind the neck, just to grab a harmony note way,
Oh wow,
over there, and but yeah, beautiful chord voicings and layering melodies, and then I really started opening up with the Middle Eastern sound and my heritage, my Armenian heritage, like just started just oozing out at that point. And then India, the ragas, and Senegal took my breath away.
Wow. So you found a way to incorporate all of these different genres into your music.
It just happened. Like I didn't try. It just happened. Yeah.
And I want to actually listen. We have a clip of some of your music here, a quick song. It's called Yerazner, which means dream in Armenian.
It does. Oh, cool.
We've got good producers on this show.
Yes.
I want to listen to that.
All right.
Sean, so I want to ask you about this because I hear in here you're talking about the time signatures. This is in 5/4, is that right?
Yeah.
Those 5 beats, you can hear the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on it.
What up, though, Kerr?
You know? Can we actually bring that back up a little bit so they can hear that counting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's so cool. So I wonder, is that a common tool you like to use in your music, or is that?
I love odd time signatures. So what it creates is a lack of resolve and like this kind of constant lean until the song is finally over. And it's like, and it's funny, like, USA, it's 4/4. Almost every song.
Everything.
And the occasion,
or maybe 3/4 here or there.
Occasional 3/4, right. And it's funny, so when I perform live, I'm going to do a little cheap plug. I play every Tuesday at Northern Lights Lounge on the patio with the trio, and we're playing all these songs 4/4, couple 3/4s. But then when we go into the 5, that's a song. Like when we finish that song, I'm not sure if they're applauding because they're like, oh, the intensity of an odd time signature piece.
We've got a couple minutes left. I want to talk about
quick.
The two of you, right? We got into a good conversation. The two of you are collaborating for the Concert of Colors. Talk about what that's like to mix the two approaches that you all have into what you're going to put on the stage.
Well, I think it's a matter of throwing Sean and I into a mix together. And, I had opportunities I've recorded with flamenco style. So, we had a chance to work together a few times, and it just seemed like a natural fit, my background and his background. And just creating it, just, it's an never-ending evolving of your musical career.
Yeah, I'm so sad that we did not have enough time to get to the rest of it. We have to wrap up, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I do want to say thank you to both of you for joining me on the Metro this morning. This is Victor Ganem and Sean Blackman. They're performing tonight at the Detroit Historical Museum alongside David McMurray. The show's at 5:30 p.m. The performance, like all other shows at Concert of Colors, is free. Thank you guys for joining us, showing a little bit about your artistic style. Go check them out tonight.
It's a pleasure.
Peace, Detroit.
This is WDET-FM, Detroit Public Radio, your connection to news, music, and conversation, and this is the Metro. Thanks for listening.